Zoom recording. There we go. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me for BS Open Forum. It's a good group. I think we're going to have a few more that are supposed to, excuse me, supposed to come on. I do want to do we'll just go around and I'll point to you and just introduce yourself. All you have to say name and we're off and running. So upper left hand corner is Jack. Go ahead.
Hi, today I'm Jack.
Share your next.
Hi, I'm Cher. I'm in Hampton Roads and in Nope as well.
Okay, Jim.
Jim Hobbs, and I'm here in Virginia.
And part of a husband and wife team with Peggy Hobbs.
Correct.
Asia,
Hi, I'm Asia. I'm in the DMV area.
Wavery,
I'm Wavery. I'm Northern Virginia.
Mike,
Mike Duffy, Northern Virginia.
and Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen. I am also in Northern Virginia, out in Western Loudoun.
Okay. So I appreciate everybody checking in. I want to introduce our newest agent with the office, Asia Stoddard. Asia is an experienced agent. In fact, she used to be my counterpart up in Maryland. She resigned her position as the DD, got her Virginia license, and has joined our office. So the funny part, the story that I'm going to tell is that Asia and I have talked back and forth. We've known each other for probably now about we've probably known each other about 5 years or so, and came
Yeah.
face to face on a couple of occasions at the leadership conferences that we had. So we're now in San Antonio, Texas, and it's my wife Kathy is with me, and her husband is with her, and I go to make the introduction to my wife and I completely zone out. She's headed down that elevator. I'm waving, and she's with her husband. And I said, "Hey, Kathy, this is uh," and it was probably extremely embarrassing for me. But you and your husband had a good laugh, and deservedly so. And you looked at me, and she goes, "You don't even remember who I am." And I'm like, "No, no, I do. I could not get the name out. If somebody had said, 'Here's $1 million check,' who's that?" I would not have been, I would have said, tear the check up. I know them. The name is just not coming. So, but it's great to have Asia with us. She's extremely experienced. She's a great person. Being a great agent is great, but she's a great person too. So,
Thank you.
when it comes to Maryland, what areas do you routinely work in? Who
All
are
of
you
the
again?
all of DC, all of DC and PG County, Anne Arundel County, Charles County, Howard County.
Okay. So you will
So
go further south into southern Maryland, correct?
yes.
Okay, good. All right. Because I know at times people are looking for that and it's been at times difficult to find somebody. Okay. Hey, Bijan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing
Sorry.
good. So that's Bijan Mirawat, who has been with us for a while as well. So this is again just it's an open forum type of thing. I want to make it available to everybody to just ask questions of anybody, say what they're seeing in their market or things that they're having a problem with. I do want to and I'm going to go out next Monday. I'll put this email out, but want to make sure everybody understands all the forms that are needed. And I know that I'm a stickler at times, and I apologize if I'm rejecting forms for people, and I've rejected them for not only you guys but other people. But what I've done to make sure that everything is proper for you guys and that you have guidance, because I can't blame you if something is not submitted that I haven't told you about. So in resources, there's my guidance on buyer's agency docs and my guidance on listing docs. So, and again, I'm going to push this out again at my Monday email. But I need people to really, really concentrate on doing that. And the reason being is it eats my time up when when I go through the forms and I have to stop because I have to reject it or it's not the right form or things along these lines. So I'm really going to ask that everybody take a look at the resources to see exactly what I'm looking for. Some of it is mandated by Fathom. Some of the forms let me put it this way, in IntelliAgent are mandated by Fathom, but there are things that are market specific. I have not been able, what I've been trying to do is get market specific guidance for Northern Virginia, especially South and West, which is what I have. But everything has to be in a state and based on the state. And that's part of the reason is because a lot of the states that we're in have standard forms. So, around here, it's not that way because all the different things in Maryland and the fact that in Virginia, I don't know if you know this, there are 5 separate sets of forms. There's our form in Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. There's Virginia Realtors. There's Central Virginia Realtor Multiple Listings, CVR MLS. There's Dan River, and then there's Rain out of Norfolk area. And so there's all these different forms. So to say, okay, this is what I want here in Virginia, we can't do that because there are other people in other operating areas. So, but I just want to give you that guidance. So anybody have anything they want to start off and talk about? Okay, not all at once. Relax, back off. So how are you guys finding the market? What are you finding? So Cher, let me ask you, how's the Norfolk area?
Good. Soon good. Prices are a lot lower on average than Northern Virginia,
Uh-huh. But are you still
but it's
seeing
good.
above market offers or
I'm seeing at market price. I'm not seeing above market. I'm seeing a lot of home inspections being negotiated.
okay. All right. All right. And what about you, Asia? What are you seeing up in Maryland?
I need to unmute. It's steady. The prices are slowly going up, but I mean it's steady. The prices are definitely, especially in the DC area, their prices always continue to rise.
Are you seeing home inspections and things like that come into the market
Oh
more?
yeah. Only time I don't see home inspections is when there's like 10 offers on a property.
Okay.
So, and we still have that going on too in the
Right.
Maryland, DC area. So
And just to remind everybody, if we're the buyer's agent and our client is waiving financing, appraisal, home inspection, anything like that, I do need the buyer's acknowledgement of potential adverse consequences uploaded into IntelliAgent. Okay. So we've got that. In addition, just to remind you, in resources, there's the waiver for the brokerage compensation agreement, because in our docs in Virginia, in Northern Virginia, that's already listed in the regional sales contract. So we don't need that, but I'll need you to put that in there in that place. So, okay. So Wavery, anything going on in your world?
Now, everything is pretty quiet here. I've had a couple of potential candidates that went away. They had properties that were rentals at one time. Matter of fact, there were almost 3 identical ones
Oh,
where they had
wow.
properties that they wanted to sell. And for the last year and a half, they've had renters there that didn't pay any rent.
Oh, geez.
Yes, and one gave the client $3,000 to fix the house, and they didn't pay any rent, but they got her $3,000. So she had to get them evicted, and all 3 houses were horrible, and it was going to need a lot of work to
Oh,
go
wow.
on the market. And each one decided they still had a mortgage on the house, uh, unfortunately, and they decided that they wanted to sell. I had a couple of people come out and look at it and give them some prices and really suggested that they not really put any money into the house because they wasn't going to get it back.
Mhm.
And they all 3 disagreed with that because they wanted to get at least $500,000 on a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and one was 1.5 bath townhouse. I said, it's not going to happen
Where was this?
in Lake Ridge.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's a great market, but
Okay.
yeah.
It's not for that size and what they had to put into it. the houses, I mean, I'd never seen houses like that. And each one, the heating and air unit wasn't working. And, possibly I didn't even get there, but just possibly a possible new roof and some other things that was going to be required. And I says, you're throwing good money after bad. You're not going to get it back. Take what you can get and run. And they had, when I looked at it and gave them some opportunities, some pretty good opportunities, so they could walk away with about 140,000 doing nothing. And they decided there wasn't enough. So
So that now they'll just keep getting renters in there and tearing it up and more cost and
yes.
possibly renters that aren't going to pay the rent. And that's wonderful.
Well, they're
So
going to have to do something even to get renters in.
yeah.
It's
So
I would just I was taken away. I'd never seen properties look like that. That's my
geez.
first time.
All right. So you be getting pestered, Jack?
Say again?
Are you getting pestered by your cat?
Yes. He
So
thinks
I'm surprised that Gibbs isn't in here nosing around. So I completely understand. Well, Wavery, so they're telling you that they weren't going to make enough to put it on the market?
Yes. Yes. Also, if you see me keep looking back, I have a new little girl in the house, Elizabeth, and she has learned I open the window. So she's trying to get in the window. So she's back behind me. So
Oh, I
that's why
can
I keep
see.
looking back.
Oh, that's okay. I can see. So I have when we have guests over, I have to put a tag on the powder room door that says lock the door. And the reason being is both cats and the dog can open it. And I will tell you, I was in there one time and all of a sudden I'm like, are you kidding me? So now I put a sign on there that everybody has to lock the door when they go in there. Otherwise, it's going to be, it could very well be a multi party situation. So, gosh. So what's the cat's name, Jack?
the cat's name is Ziggy.
Ziggy, huh?
Right. It's a
Okay.
name I liked. I don't know if you remember the Quantum Leap series of
Uh-huh.
many decades ago.
Right.
The computer's name was Ziggy.
Yeah.
And it's actually a more popular name than people realize. But he's a little confused because my wife keeps calling him a good dog.
Well, I thought you were going to
And
tell me
then
he was named after Ziggy Stardust.
That's what I thought.
So
yeah,
Mike
no.
and Wavery and Jack and I get the joke, and everybody else is like, "Who the heck is that?" So we're dating ourselves, guys. So Ziggy Stardust. Oh God, David Bowie had an alternate character. His alter ego was Ziggy Stardust. So anyway, well, anything else going on in anybody's world? What are your thoughts? So let me ask it this way. So what do you guys think about the new plans?
I think they will work. I think it's just a matter of getting adjusted.
I So those of you that have known me for a while know that my feeling is I've never, it's gonna sound terrible. I've never been a big fan of this profit share or things. I've just never been that guy. And maybe it's because I've never dealt with it. I've always, for a short period of time, I was with Century 21, that everything was really on my own, never involved in, in more of a corporate environment. But when this came out, they did a video for all the leadership. Okay. As the emails were going out to everybody, they were telling us first. And like I said in the email before or in one of my videos, we were losing people who wanted to come and said, I love Fathom, I love everything, but I can go over here. And again, I guess my philosophy on this is yes, it can be additional income, but unless you are a heavy, heavy recruiter as an agent, and unless you are recruiting heavy recruiters. It is not a retirement plan. Okay. It may be an additional income plan, but it is not a retirement plan, which is what it's been sold with by not by Fathom, but by a number of different other brokerages. And and so I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and if this gets back to anybody, that's okay because I'll defend it. I have always thought companies that did that were like Amway with dirt, okay? And it's okay, where so we've got this residual income, and you're sell for the most part, it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to end up with a house in the Bahamas, okay? And that's my feeling. But I think it's great. It's a a great option for people if they enjoy doing that. Um, I will tell you one of the things throughout in January, it'll be 10 years that I've been with Fathom. But one of the things I've always talked about is, hey, can you help me recruit? And I don't take offense to it when people say, look, I enjoy doing real estate. I don't do recruiting. If I want to be a recruiter, I'd go over and do some recruiting. And so I understand that. But do you think so? Is anybody looking at switching from the plan that they're on, that they've been on before, to one of the two other plans?
Well, Mark, I agree with you and what you're saying because I came from Exit Realty
Mhm.
and it was every person you recruit, you get up to $10,000 a year for whoever you recruit, long as they're producing. And that's what made me come to Fathom was because one year I normally would get an additional 50,000 a year from a recruit. And what made me come to Fathom that one particular year, none of my recruits recruited anything, and at exit it was 70-30%. Am I supposed to be saying no numbers?
Yeah, that's okay because
Oh,
you're talking about your experience.
all right,
Okay, you're
okay.
talking about your experience, so that's okay.
Okay, so yeah, so it was 70-30 split. So I always got 100% and more because of my recruits. But then that one particular year, they didn't get, they weren't selling. And I was like, I can't depend on my recruits to give
Mhm.
me this additional income. So that's when I joined Fathom. I think it's been eight, it'll be 8 years in, 7 or 8 years in
Yeah.
February. So when the new plan came about, I was like, oh, I'm sticking to the old plan because I'm not a recruiter. I'm done with even being a district director and how we supposed to recruit. I didn't recruit many
No.
people at all. It was just the recruiters were recruiting and I pulled them in that way. But
Mhm.
that's why I left Exit because I didn't want to have to keep recruiting people.
Mhm.
It was great in the beginning because I was with them for 13 years, but I was tired. I just didn't want to, go through the whole spiel and then so the new plans, I'm sticking to the old plan. It works for me.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody
Yeah,
else have
Mark,
any thoughts?
for recruiting, I mean, I got two recruits that are on the call right now, and there wasn't any income or anything. The deal was that I was having a good time, and I liked a lot of the agents where I was, and I thought, and you said, go see if you can bring some over. So I did, and they're a fit, and they're good Fathom agents,
Yeah.
and it wasn't for um, and both of them I've had been able to team some things modestly, a little bit with Wavery on one, but one with Cher that so I went on a ski trip and I got the referral, I mean,
Hmm.
so I
Okay.
mean, and they've been quality people, so it's just I was doing it for a different reason
Right.
to eye quality people to that I would enjoy working with for your team.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
So let me ask you this question then. So with that in mind and all, what is it? And again, it sort of sounds like a goofy segue, but you'll see where I'm tied with this. What is it that I can do for you guys that'll help you? Okay. And if it's helping bring people, to recruit that you can talk to and get a piece of, that's fine. If it's, something in policy, if it's something in you know, response time or anything like that. I just want to find out from you guys if there's anything that you would like to see me do better. Okay. And I'm not, and just so that you know, I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm fishing for critique. So if there's something that you think I can do better, that's what I want to work on. That's what I want to know. And that's part of the reason why I have this is to find out what your thoughts are. So, I mean, I'm open.
Well, I have something that not that you can do better, but I'd like for you to do more of, which is commercial referrals.
Okay. All right.
I've not seen any of those in a while, and some of the ones I get are, how can I say, they're looking for a magic bullet,
Right.
not process. There is
Right.
a process to commercial as there is to residential, um, and they think if you give them one piece of information that, I got the answer, I can
Yeah.
handle this.
Okay.
And then something happens and they go away and you never hear from them again.
Okay. So those of you that don't know Jack, and that's not an indictment of your intelligence. Some of you that don't know who Jack is, Jack does not only residential, but he's a very experienced commercial agent. So if you have anything along the lines of commercial property, and one of the differences about residential and commercial is Jack works a great deal of the state. He's not, he's gone down to Norfolk to talk to people and Richmond, etc. So it doesn't mean that it has to be in Vienna. It can be in Harrisonburg or it can be in Short Pump or things along these lines. So anything that you have that's commercial, Jack is a really great resource. So,
I'm also licensed in Maryland.
oh, I forgot that you're licensed in Maryland. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I have a commercial designation in Maryland only.
Yeah. So Asia, if you need anything, there he is.
Well, Jack, well, I'll be calling you. Can I get your information? Because I am venturing into commercial myself.
Okay.
Um, and it's a lot of, I have 4 clients that I'm looking for a restaurant, specialty items. So if you have any knowledge or you can share stuff that you may know of up here that could help, but I'll call you. I'll send
Okay.
you information.
Jack, if you want to just put your information in the chat too, that might give that availability to everybody.
Sure, if I can find it. There it is.
I've used Jack on my resource. I think we talked for a while, and he is in my speed dial, but he was very helpful.
Okay. All right. What else? Anything else that anybody wants to talk about or cover or anything along these lines?
Mark, I think, as I said last month, I think this is just a good opportunity to see you, check in, and then whether I have anything or not, I feel like I'm in touch. So
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
good.
Well, I enjoy doing this. I will tell you the next one is November 19th. And so I try and keep somewhat of a pattern and time frame and consistency, but with the holidays and other things coming up, I have to shift it at times. But the next one's going to be November 19th. Okay.
Good.
And again, it's the same, it's the same link for Zoom and all the other good stuff. So does anybody have any plans coming up for travel or anything along those lines? Nobody going any place? Jen, you and Wavery are my wanderers.
I would be doing a little travel in November, but it won't be like last year in November where I spent the month in Hawaii. So
Oh,
be a little bit closer this time, Indiana. So
Jen, do you have anything planned going up?
No, maybe a short trip. But one of my kids just moved to Miami, so I might shoot down there for a quick. But I think David's asked me to stick around for a little bit.
Okay. Well, and also so that Jen's husband David is a financial planner. So that's if you ever have anybody that's looking for something, you don't have somebody or you know people that are dissatisfied with who they have. David's a good guy and he's got a great personality and a great head on his shoulders. So that's a resource for everybody as well. So is there anything you'd like me to put into resources to give you an availability? And I hope you also understand that I try and do a number of different videos and have the YouTube channel. So if you ever want to go back to something, it's in there. So that's always available to you as well. Let me ask you this question. How many of you know about or have used, well, that's the wrong way. How many of you know about Fathom Academy? Okay. what I have pulled back from using Fathom Academy because I think some people were not, I was losing some people, but I'm going to go back to putting, not only have it on YouTube, but put the training and things into Fathom Academy as well, so that that'll be available. So when I do something like this, I'm going to put that into Fathom Academy as well. Um, so let me ask you this question. So last 2 days I did an ABR class. How many of you are ABRs? None of you are accredited by our representatives. Okay. Well, Jen is, I know that. Okay, because she had to sit through my class for 2 straight days, Monday and Tuesday. All right. The ABR class right now is free. Okay. And I'm going to recommend, and I'm thinking about doing one final push for an ABR class. And I schedule this through my real estate school in December. And next year it's not free anymore. In other words, with the settlement, NAR said, okay, we want everybody to be ABRs, as many ABRs as possible. And so they've offered the class for free. And in addition to being free, this year and essentially next year, you pay no dues for being an ABR. Okay. I get paid through NAR. I invoice them. And so beginning on January 1st, 2025, ABR is now going to be a 300 and some odd dollar, usually $350 to $400 class. So I'm going to probably offer it one more time. And again, virtually, like I did earlier, Jen, like I did yesterday and the day before. And I would really recommend that you do this, that Jen, and be honest about this. Jen, do you think it was worthwhile?
Yeah, I do. I mean, in my 14 years, I've worked definitely with more buyers than listings. And it was very much worthwhile. And we had a good group of people that made the class really interactive. And, I learned something every day.
Okay. And so one of the things, so last Tuesday, I taught the National Military Relocation Professional class. So I had 339 people in class on Zoom, and I couldn't see any faces, etc., which was really unusual for me because I've never done that before. But it was worthwhile. I had a lot of fun doing it. I usually like to have it hybrid where I've got people in person, but I didn't have anybody in person. So I did it all virtually. And so I will do another one virtually. And I encourage you to go ahead and take the class. And I'm going to really push this for the rest of the office because I just think it's worthwhile. But in addition to that, let me ask you this question. How many of you know that you've completed your Realtor Code of Ethics training? Not a Code of Ethics training for CE, but the Realtor Code of Ethics training for NAR every 3 years. Okay, so basically two of you. I will be leaving the group as I have a 1:30 meeting in Lake Ridge. I will look forward to, okay, you got it. See you later. Um, I'm going to do the 3-hour Realtor Code of Ethics, and I'm going to offer that up to everybody also. I will tell you what I have to do is I have to find out if I can do it for free. And you go, well, what do you mean if you can do it for free? Well, because of RESPA, you can, and I'm confirming this, that it is considered a violation of RESPA if I, as the owner of Granite Street Training, conduct a free class and record continuing education credits. Now, I think I can get away with that because I'm doing it for my agents. And if other agents happen to be there, well, that's okay. But I'm going to do the Realtor Code of Ethics training, the 3-hour class. Will be done before 3 hours. Again, that'll probably be in early December. What I'm trying to do is get it early enough so that we're not impacted by all the holiday craziness, but late enough so that it's between, it's after Thanksgiving and people traveling and things like this. But that's the plan. Okay, anybody have anything for me before we punt for the day? All right. Hey guys, I appreciate it. I'll have this
Thanks, Mark.
uploaded. You're welcome. I have this uploaded probably tomorrow. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
guys. See you
Thanks,
later.
Mark.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome, Asia.